Woodworking, and today I'm going to be answering the age-old question, what do woodworkers do with their sawdust? The first step in dealing with their sawdust is collecting it. Now the simplest method is just to take a broom and a dustpan, but we've already gone ahead and made a dust separator for our cleaner. There are plenty of other options out there, depending on how much money you're willing to put into it. Now after you've collected it, we've come to the age-old question of what to do with it. You can use some of it for gardening or spread it on the ground for landscaping, or you could just tie it in a bag and throw it in the trash, and then it would just end up in a landfill. But here, we're trying to find a different solution to that. Here, we found a way to mix sawdust with paper and compress it into a log-shaped form, so when we go camping, we have our own firewood. Not only can these be used for camping, but if you're in an area where you're allowed to burn wood, then you can make these smaller and put them in a barbecue, or they work in wood-burning stoves. We've found that these actually burn 2 to 3 times longer than putting an actual log into the fire. What we do is we put paper into a bunch of water, and then we use an old saw blade on the end of a drill, then we blend it up into a nice pasty pulp. So now that we've got it down to a nice slop, as I like to call it, it's time to add in the sawdust. Now we found that the thinner the sawdust is, the better it works. So you would want to use the sawdust from your saws or your sanders, but be light on the sawdust you use from your planer because that's more like chips than is sawdust.
Now to form the sawdust and paper mixture into a log, we use a piece of 6-inch PVC pipe with an end cap. We drilled a 1-inch hole in the bottom of the end cap and took a 1-inch pipe with a bunch of holes in it and put it all the way down. Now the holes in the 1-inch pipe will allow for all the water to be able to drain out through the bottom. Our ramrod today will end up being a 5-inch PVC pipe with a 1-inch hole drilled in there so that rod can go straight up it. Once you have your 6-inch PVC pipe all assembled with your end cap and a 1-inch piece of pipe sliding through it with all the holes, it's time to start filling it up. Take your paper and your pulp mix and just keep adding until you get close to the top of it. Once you get close to the top, you'll take your 5-inch PVC pipe with the hole, match up your holes, and you start compressing it. The first one you should be able to just about compress by hand. You want to get as much water out and as much pressure as you can. After you've compressed it down once, you can see it in there. Now each time I do this form here, which is a 12-inch form, I'll end up with about a 3-inch log. You can put a spacer down in there and do 3-inch logs, but if I fill it up again, I'll end up getting about a 5.5-inch log, which is about what I like for our fire pit. Fill it all the way up, just like last time. Put it in, compress it a little bit by hand. Now this time it's going to be a little bit stronger. So I got this homemade press here that I've put together, researched online, that squeezes it down for me. As you can see, it gets all that water out nice and good. With this, I'm doing a good 2,000 to 3,000 pounds of pressure with one hand. Move my way down, and I'll even get more pressure, all out of 2x4s. This press here is completely found online. Now to be able to get our log out, we're just going to press it straight through. Put a block down here which will hold the PVC pipe up in the air a little bit, and Dylan here is going to help me by bringing this down real slowly and end up pushing that top right off. Go ahead. Top comes right off. Got a little bit longer pipe here. Shove it back down in the hole and give a good press. And here's your log.
After you get your log out of the mold, you're going to have to let it sit and dry. For the 6-inch mold that we are using, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for it to completely dry. The drier it is, the better it will burn. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions or things that you do to get rid of your sawdust, please leave that in the comments. We are constantly looking for new ways to get rid of our sawdust. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.